We're going to go ahead and get started. Let me just lower this. And we'll start with Mike Petraglia, followed by Mike Reese.
Thanks, Stacy. Good afternoon, James. How you doing?
Good, man. How are you?
I'm doing well. I guess I'll start with the basics. What were some of the biggest factors that went into your decision to announce your retirement, and did it involve your neck?
Yeah. So, my injury last year kind of exposed some things that, posed a potentially risky situation continuing to play the game of football. So that's really, what led to my decision. I just knew that given all the stuff that we kind of figured out, that it was in my and my family's best interest to no longer play the game. It was a tough decision, one that took a lot of emotions and a lot of time to kind of talk through with my wife and I. But I'm a solace with the decision that it was made with my family's best interest in mind.
Would you like to, given your leadership position and what Bill Belichick had to say about you yesterday, would you like to consider a position with the organization?
I'm considering that, any kind of possibility that kind of comes my way. I mean, it'd be an honor to be able to continue to show, provide support for the team, albeit in a different way. But I have a innate sense in me that I have to, kind of give back to this game that gave me so much, and so any kind of capacity that I can do that in is something I'd be interested in doing.
Thank you, James.
Yeah.
And Mike Reese, I'm going to pause for 1 second because I forgot to announce something I was going to announce at the beginning of this call, which is I put in that email announcing that we're going to do this. We'll try to do another conference call tomorrow as we're announcing our all-decade team, but I wanted to make it known now that your fullback for the all-decade team is now on your screen. So if anybody wants to,
Hey.
Little spoiler alert here, he ran unopposed, but he was an all-decade team member that will be announced tomorrow. So just a little sneak preview here for you guys. And Mike Reese, the floor is yours.
Well, let's start with James, your reaction to that.
Oh, that's awesome. That is awesome. I mean, I guess it's not too hard to win when you don't have any competition, but it's an honor, man. I mean, I know the level of play that it takes to perform for the Patriots, and to get that kind of recognition along with some of the guys that I'm sure are on that list. It's an awesome thing to be able to show my kids down the road here once they can understand what it means.
You grew up in Pennsylvania, right? And
Yep.
came to Brown, and then end up a Patriot. Obviously, do you envision yourself? I mean, a New Englander now. Like, do you think you'll stay in the area?
It's definitely my second home. I mean, if I'm gonna be anywhere outside of Pennsylvania, where all my family's, all my wife's family is, it'll definitely be in New England. So, we're gonna maintain our roots, kind of in both places for right now, and we'll see where life takes us. Really, I mean, I just kind of made the final decision yesterday, so I haven't had a lot of time to really kind of comb through what our next move is. But it's I've been lucky to call New England home for 8 years, and the 4 years while I was in school up there, and it'll always be near and dear to my heart, and I'll always try to support the area and the New England Patriots organization to my fullest ability.
Congrats on a great career.
Thanks, Mike. Appreciate it.
I'm going to go through the chat requests here first. Sorry about the order here, guys. Yanni Caracas, you're up.
Hey, James, how are you?
Hey, Yanni.
Congrats on a great career. By and large, everyone on social media, all Patriot fans, all pretty much had the same comment. You were a hard-nosed player, gritty, face of the Patriot type of Patriot mantra. What does it mean to be known as sort of a throwback in an era when there aren't a lot of fullbacks anymore, and they're not ground and pounding as much as they used to?
Oh, well, it's it's a great honor, man. I mean, that kind of style of play is what really brought that allure to the game of football for me. I mean, my dad introduced me to the game when I was young. He played all through college, and I was a diehard Eagles fan, and I just grew up kind of loving that, high contact, just aggressive style of play, and I just try to emulate those things my entire career, and that's thankfully that kind of gave me my career as a fullback, was just kind of being willing to stick my face in there and do some dirty work, and so it's awesome to see that people recognize that, and it's been awesome to see the outpouring of support from everybody over the past 24 hours, and I truly appreciate it all.
Thanks.
Next up is Evan Lazar, followed by Ian Steele.
Hey James, how you doing?
Good, Evan. How are you?
Good, thanks. Congrats on a good career. I just wanted to ask you just about Jakob Johnson and just some of the guys that you worked with last year, and are we in good hands here now that you're hanging it up?
Yeah, I mean, Jakob is an awesome story. I mean, is one kind of near and dear to my heart. The guy was, just kind of given an opportunity with the Patriots, as a 91st kind of guy on the roster, and he really opened up a lot of eyes, and I have nothing but the highest regard for that guy. I think he's gonna go on to do really good things, and I'll be there to support him in any way I can.
How about just kind of, you mentioned he was the 91st guy. You had quite the journey as well to the NFL, just Arena League and all that kind of stuff. Just reflect on that, just how was that journey and to finally get to this point where you're on the all-decade team for an NFL team and stuff.
Yeah, I mean, it's humbling, man. It really is. I mean, I've been lucky enough to be there for a while, and to have seen some things and done some things that I will never forget, and so that it really just, it kind of plays right into that whole mantra. It doesn't matter where you come from, doesn't matter what accolades you had in college or in high school, the experiences you had. I mean, I played D-line in college, and nobody wanted me as that because I was I was no good. So I mean, the ability of the Patriots to say, look, it doesn't matter where you came from, it doesn't matter how you got here. It's all about what you do when you're here in this building at practice, showing that you're able to learn, able to understand, able to play, and to produce. I mean, it's an incredible opportunity for anybody to walk through those doors, and so I've been thankful that I've been able to make the most of my opportunity, and I wish Jakob and everybody in that building the same opportunities.
Thanks, James.
Yeah.
Next question will be Ian Steele, followed by Henry McKenna.
Hi, James. Congratulations.
Thank you, man. Appreciate it.
You mentioned your time at Brown, your time in college. Was there anything, now that you look back on your career, that you learned at Brown that carried you through your professional career?
It was a culmination of a lot of things. I kind of became a man. I mean, I walked on the campus there at 18 years old, and then I left when I was 21. And those were some of the most impressionable years of anybody's life. And so just to share the locker room with some of the guys that I shared there, and to learn from my coaches and my professors and fellow students. I mean, those are the things that I look back on with the most pride. I mean, it wasn't one particular thing. I had my own personal journey to go from high school, and I thought I was going to go big time. I thought I was going to go to Michigan or Virginia or something like that, and then those opportunities kind of fell through, and so I had to kind of make my own path, and I decided on Brown and pursued that, and it was kind of a similar transition from college to the professional level. I mean, I had to, kind of figure out my way, to get into the door, and as soon as one door would open, 100 more were closing in my face. But I just had to kind of stay steady and stay with the path, and everything worked out for the right way, and I was just willing to put in the work necessary to get myself through that maze, and so that's really kind of what made that connection between going from high school to Brown and then Brown to the professional level.
Next question, Henry McKenna, followed by Jim McBride.
Congrats, James. Wonderful career. Do you? I'm because it's so great. I imagine this will be a tough question, but do you have a favorite block or favorite play that you had during your career? Is there a moment that kind of is like, your favorite? During your.
Oh man, I mean, it's hard to look past the last Super Bowl down in Atlanta, scoring that touchdown. I have Sony right behind me scoring that touchdown to win the game. That was something that I'll show my kids, down the road. But honestly, those championship type moments, those special games we won, they were awesome, and they were something that I'll never forget. But honestly, just the like mundane moments that we went through as teammates, just being in the locker room and just kind of effing around and just like being guys, those are the moments that I'm really gonna probably miss. Those are what it's all about. As much as I went to work every day to provide for my family, I also went to work every day for my teammates and for my coaches, and to just provide whatever they needed from me. So it was everything was like you said. That's a tough question, man. It's tough to just think about one thing, but glamorous moment, yeah, probably that block to have Sony score behind me in that last Super Bowl win. But honestly, every single moment of the journey to get there was just as special.
Next question, Jim McBride, followed by Zach Cox.
Hi, James. Congratulations on your career.
Thank you.
It was hard not to notice that you were around the team so much last year, even though you had your injury. And I'm wondering if that gave you kind of a coach's perspective on things. And given your background in all three phases of the game, would coaching be something that you'd see in your future?
I think I definitely consider it. Like I said before, I have this feeling like I need to give back to the game, because it gave me so much, and I've been playing for 25 years, and I know a lot about the game. I've been through a lot of experiences, within the game, and so I think that there's a certain level of knowledge that I have that I could pass on to the next generation of players, wherever that may be. So yeah, it was kind of it was funny to get that experience at the tail end of my career, and be able to kind of view it from not really being able to perform on the field, but being able to pass along information and have that person that I'm passing it along to perform. And so it was a different type of feeling of pride. It wasn't like I was personally doing it, but I was helping someone else. And so that kind of thing is being able to help people in general is always something that I look on to fondly. So being able to do that and also contribute to the game of football, it's definitely something that I'm considering. But like I said, I just made this decision finalized yesterday, so I haven't been able to really pinpoint where I'm gonna go, what I'm gonna do next, but it's something I'd be open to for sure.
Next question will be Zach Cox, followed by Dan Roach.
James, I know Yanni mentioned the kind of outpouring of support that's come out since you made your announcement. A lot of those messages came from your current teammates, your former teammates, even from Bill. What was your reaction to seeing the way some of your your current former teammates, coaches, how they've taken this news?
It was incredibly humbling, man. I mean, like I said before, the reason I play this game is not only to provide for my family, but for my teammates. I mean, they're my family away from my own family, and have the highest respect for everyone that I've ever shared a locker room with, and so to see that kind of respect reflected yesterday, it was awesome, man, and it was an emotional day, seeing all that stuff and kind of being nostalgic all day, and just returning the respects that were given to me, it's awesome, man. It's really a cool feeling to see the appreciation and love.
And we'll do two final questions. It looks like Dan Roach and Bob Sosi. Hang on 1 second, Dan. Go ahead, Dan.
There we go. Hi, James.
Hey, Dan, how you doing?
Congratulations. I'm good, thank you. First of all, it's a two-part question. One, was it a bit of a shot from Stacy saying that you were the only person nominated for the All-Decade team, fullback-wise? And second of all, was there ever a moment in the last month, weeks, 24 hours where you thought, maybe I should play, maybe I should give it one more go, or were you pretty much set with this for a while?
Firstly, yeah, I mean, I can't imagine I'm the only fullback that played in this decade. I don't know exactly when Heath Evans was there, but had to have been a little bit before me. But I mean, I guess I got there in 12, and then now it's 20, so I kind of had the majority of the time. But anyways, yeah, I was a little surprised to know that I was the only one, but I'm definitely still honored. That's an awesome thing. And then yeah, I mean, as a competitor, honestly, I definitely considered it. When I kind of got the news that I had the situation going on that I have, it was a tough pill to swallow, because it kind of like I wasn't really prepared for it. I had really no prior knowledge of it, and the one thing that really shed some clarity in the situation was my wife was there with my daughter, and so it was just an immediate reminder of what's important in life, because had they not been there, and my sense of manly pride, and me trying to be a tough guy, maybe I would have said, I can play through that. I can, I'll just tough it out. But really, it was in the best interest of me, my wife, my 3 kids. I mean, it'd be an ignorant thing and a selfish thing to continue to play the game, and so I did what's best for my family.
And last question, Bob Sosi.
Yeah, thank you, Stacy. James, congratulations, and thanks again.
Yeah, man.
Related to the last comment you made in Dan's second part of his question, I was wondering, this is a time when we're all, I think, probably reflecting a lot more on what's most important in life.
Mm-hmm.
The first part of my two-parter is, did this, the circumstances surrounding these times, did that play a role too? You mentioned you came to the final decision yesterday. What we're all dealing with, being at home with families, maybe thinking more about what's most important in life.
Well, I really got the news, I mean, months ago, I made the final decision yesterday, and kind of made it public, but I had really gone through this process kind of in my own mind with my wife and with my close friends and family, quite some time ago. And so, it was before all this coronavirus pandemic really hit. But this does shed a lot of light on, really what's important. I mean, we're all, at home with our families right now, and when we really think about it, we have a million things going on in life and a million distractions, between our phones and our jobs and just everyday life, right? really, when you boil it all down, the only thing we really need is just our family, and so it has, kind of come full circle, and it's definitely shined the light even brighter that I knew, months ago that I had to do this for my family. And so it's an interesting thing. I never actually thought about it until you just said this, but yeah, it definitely it just drives the point home even more, that I'm making the right decision.
And just quickly, I was also curious if you reached out and were informed by some of your former teammates who've gone through the same steps, people that brought a similar level of passion and really represented the Patriots, I think in a lot of the same ways with the same qualities. People like Rob Ninkovich, for
Yeah.
example, who not long ago stepped away from the game.
Yeah. So yeah, I mean, I've a lot of people have reached out, and I've reached out to a lot of people to kind of just get some advice, and and how to make this decision, how to deal with this whole thing, because this is truly uncharted territory for myself and really anybody who goes through this. So people that had gone through it, Rob Ninkovich, Shane Vereen, and Sebastian Vollmer, all these guys that I had the highest respect of as teammates, and then they go on and they go through these experiences and they pass it down to people that are thinking about it. And so yeah, those relationships are truly valuable in this time, because you're kind of going into something that you never really lend your mind to thinking about, your last day as a football player. And so the people that have gone through it and have made these tough decisions, they have a wealth of knowledge of something you really never even thought of. So I definitely called on those people to just to pick their brain on how to go about it and how to do it. And I truly appreciate all the time and advice that they gave.
Thanks again. All the best.
Thank you.
James, thank you very much. Thanks everyone for participating. I hope it was helpful, and we'll try to do one tomorrow with another all-decade team member. I like to think of it more, James, as you were a unanimous selection.
Yeah, there we go. That's definitely how it should be written.
Yes, it is. It is. Thanks, everyone.
Thanks, James.
Thank you, James.
Thank you, guys. I appreciate it.
Best.
Appreciate it.
Thanks, Stacy.
Thank you, James.
Thanks, James. Bye.